Kavijayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhattarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavaat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Gukaro Anthakaro Vai Rukarastan Nivartakaha Anthakara Nirodhitvat Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Bhadram Karne Vishruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshavaryajatraha Sthirairangai Sushtuvam Sastanupihi Veshema Devahitam Yadayuhu Sustina Indro Vrittashravaha Sustina Pusha Vishwavedaha Sustina Stakshu Arishtanemihi Sustino Brahaspatir Dathatu Om Shanti 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 Om Prajnanam Shupradhanai Sthiracharanikara Vyapibhirvyapya Lokan Bhuktva Bhogan Stavishtan Punaravidishanotphasidan Kamajanyan Pitva Sarvan Visheshan Subhiti Madhurabhung Mayaya Bhojayannaha Maya Sankhya Sturiyam Paramamృతమజం Brahmayatannatosmi Yo Vishwatma Vidya Vishayan Prashya Bhogan Stavishtan Paschachanyan Samiti Vibhavan Jyotisha Sukshman Sarvan Yetan Punaravishanai Swatmani Stapayitva Hitva Sarvan Visheshan Vigata Gunagana Patva Saunasturiyaha. We are studying Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, which belongs to Atharva Veda, and we are in the second section, what we call Vaithatya Prakaranam, and we are in the 35th mantra. Remember, the word Vaithatya means an error. None. Okay. The word Vaithatya means an error. An error means something which you have mistaken other than what it is. There are different names for that. താഴ്ത്ത് കൊടുത്താൽ മതി, വീട് അറിയൂലോ. താഴ്ത്ത് കൊടുത്താൽ മതി, ഇനി വിളിക്കണ്ട കേട്ടോ. ഓക്കെ, ആ വാങ്ങിക്കോ. Sorry. The error is being uttered in different words in the Sanskrit. One is Vithatha, and having the bhavam, having the way of mistake is called Vaithatyam. And another is in Brahma Sutra, he presented another word for that. So different words are there in Sanskrit for mistake. So we are seeing the reality of a human being. The human being itself is an error. That is what we are going to see through the entire Vedantic studies. Nothing special. Every day we get more clarity on the same topic. One who are blessed, they will stay for a long time. One who have a little amount of blessing, they will stay for a little bit time. One who has to acquire the blessings of the all-pervasive Lord, they may feel uncomfort regarding the subject matter. Nothing wrong on that. So, the word error, Shankara explains in Brahma Sutra, Atasmin Tad Buddhihi. Having an another sense on a real thing. You take in a mistaken way on a real thing. And he quotes, a rope is mistaken to a snake. When you don't know the rope, you consider it is a snake. Simple way of understanding the error. The human body is perceived by entire world. Myself also perceiving my body, others also perceiving my body. So I take myself as a human body because I don't know really who am I. My father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, other relatives also following the same pattern that they are also human bodies. So I don't need to correct myself. What I see myself is I am. In fact, when you come to the traditional teacher and to the scriptures, we may come to know. Why I say may, there is a possibility not to know also. Some people may know, some people, even after listening, they are not having the potential to understand the reality or truth. So, human body or I am a human being is an erroneous knowledge. And this knowledge is to be corrected in order to free from all kinds of sorrows, worries, unhappiness. All these needs I have in my life. I want to free from all my sorrows. I want to free from all my unhappiness. I want to be free from insecurity. But only one way. We need to know that the center of all these unhappiness, sorrows, all kinds of sadness, the center is a mistake. I am a human body. Connected to this, each and every thought is attacking me. So I need to be free that I am not human body. Understanding I am not human body. So that vithatha, an error, and having the nature of error, vaitatyam, to be taken care. That is why Vaithatya Prakaranam. Remember, we are studying the Māṇḍūkya kārikā, a text which is connected with the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, written by Gaudapada Acharya, a traditional teacher who was the guru of the Govinda Bhagavat Pada, and he is the guru of Adi Shankara, the commentator. I am interested to repeat certain things in every class. This is how a knowledge will get a grip inside the mind. It is not a easy understanding after listening once in your life. So we need repetition. We may seems to be, I have heard this already, but it needs some repetition because it is knowledge. Suppose it is a poetry, repetition is something embarrassing. But when the knowledge which is to be planted in the mind, that needs some repetition, taking care of the knowledge properly. So error is vithatha. Having the nature of error or errorness is called vaitatyam. And vaitatyam is there for everybody. That is why Gaudapada given a name for the second section. And we are in the 35th verse. And we will read the verse and we will go through the meaning of the verse. Vitaragabhaya krotaihi munibhirveda parakaihi nirvikalpo hi ayam drishtaha prapancho shamodvayaha. Once more. Vitaragabhaya krotaihi munibhirveda parakaihi nirvikalpo hi ayam drishtaha prapancho pashamodvayaha. Veda raka, Veda bhaya, Veda krotaha. Free from all kinds of worldly attachment is called Veda raka. Discipline, clarity, purification of the mind. When all this dualistic world is not a goal for a person, I need to experience that. I need to know this place. I need to eat this dish. This is called longing towards the worldly things. When I am ignorant, it is possible to enjoy the world in different ways. As a mature person, after listening, what is goal? What is the means to reach the goal? What I have to do immediately? That will make the person to be away from all kinds of worldly attachments. This is called Vitaraga. Vita Bhayaha. The knowledge about oneself will destroy the fear towards the world. When I listen, I am immortal in real. I am the embodiment of happiness in real. I am the cause of this entire universe. All these sentences and everything is nothing but all-pervading Lord. All the names and forms are just an illusion. These sentences, understanding them properly from the standpoint of ultimate reality without any contradiction, people get confused after listening these sentences. How can be I am immortal? Why should I see everything as Lord? A pig is to be eaten in the form of ham. How can I see it is a Lord? It is my traditional dish. A piece of meat, whether it is a steak or a beef, whatever it may be. How can I see a bull as a Lord? That is why a length of study is important. For a beginner, Vedanta will be always confusing. And this text which we are seeing is not for beginners. They can join and listen. That's all. Everything seems to be contradictory. So in order to take care of all the doubts, in order to take care of all kinds of misunderstanding, one need to go through a certain amount of time listening. Then only one will become fearless. Because the ultimate fear is my non-existence. I will die. That itself is removed by the Vedic sentences, by the traditional teacher. Then I will not be fear of anybody in the world, whether it is from mother-in-law, whether it is from colleagues, whether it is from an elephant, anything. I will not be fear of anything in the world. That doesn't mean that you deal with them foolish. You should not be a fool while dealing with them. There are people like that, Nothing will happen to me so that I will walk towards a mad elephant. That is something fool, You are mature enough to deal with the world properly. You may know that you are wise, you are intelligent, you are a jnani, you are a mukta purusha. You are a person who know what is the reality. Elephant don't have any idea about you. It is an insecurity. It's an animal which is having some insecurity inside the mind. So when you go towards an elephant, it will try to avoid you. It may end up in some tragedy. You should not walk towards a bull. You should not look towards the eyes of the animals. When you look at the eyes of the animals, it means that you are ready to have some confrontation with them. It's a signal. You are ready to fight with them. So, as a sadhu, as a person who is wise, you live in this world with so much care, with so much maturity, so that fear is not there, but knowing the limitation of the body, one deal with the world with a lot of care. Nothing will happen to me. You cannot jump into the Ganga. Strong current being there inside the water, you may be wiped out. So understand properly, knowing that I am immortal, I will be more mature to deal with the world. And also, Vita Krotaihi, free from all kinds of expectations. Expectations are the seeds for anger. You don't expect anything from the world or anything from your friend, anything from anybody. You live a life so that you are not angry with anybody in the world. Krodha is the opposite side of lust or desire. When you don't have any desire towards the worldly things, when you don't have any expectation towards the worldly things, you will not be angry at all. Vida Krodhaihi. Everything should be taken care of. What is listed here, I already explained you properly in the last class. More you should listen that if you want to know more. Munibir Veda Paragaihi. Muni, a person who will be always concentrating on the Vedic sentences in and through, while walking, while cooking, while bathing, while doing anything in the world, he will be concentrating on the Vedic sentences, what is taught by his traditional teacher and what he was listening towards him. All these things will take care of all the misunderstanding regarding oneself. That is why Muni, Manana Shilatvad Munihi, always thinking the proper things in the mind. What is real? Have the first priority. What is unreal is to be sublimated with the knowledge of reality. That is called Munihi. He may be walking, he may be eating, he may be drinking, he may be sleeping. It's all sublimation after knowing the reality. As long as the body continues, all the activities of body will be done by the wise people. That is called Munihi. And Veda Paragaihi, well versed in the sentences of non-dual Brahman. Well versed. They are thorough with their knowledge of who I am. There is no doubt regarding their own understanding. They know that everything is nothing but this non-dual Brahman. Duality can exist as long as you are ignorant. Duality will continue as though after knowing for a wise person. But he knows that even though I perceive the duality, there is no duality in real. Because after knowing the reality, you may perceive your children, you may perceive your father, you may perceive your husband, wife, etc., etc. But you know that when the non-dual Brahman is the only truth, All other names and forms are just imagination on the non-dual Brahman. They are non-existence. Non-existing things can appear, but they really never existed at any point of time, so that I need not to correct them. I can perceive them because they are non-existence. Non-existing things will be perceived in and through all the life, like mirage water in the desert. Shankara says, you know that it is not water at all. It is not an oasis. But due to the reflection of the sun in the sand, it seems to be water. After knowing the reality also, there will be a reflection as though it is water. Nothing to do with that. Similarly, you perceive the body of others in front of you after knowledge also. But it's also sublimation. Just like the sunrise and sunset. After knowing the reality, still you enjoy the sunrise and sunset. So Veda Paragaihi, the sentences which are talking about the non-dual Brahman, that is completely ascertained by them. The entire Veda, if you take, they understood the Karma Kanda also, the portion of rituals. Rituals are meant for a person who believes that I am a human being. As long as for the purification of mind, you can take any rituals. Not for small petty things. You are not interested in the worldly things, still you can perform Vedic rituals, nothing wrong. The first portion also they understood properly. From the second portion, they understood the reality of themselves, so that the entire vision is clear for them. Veda Paragaihi. One who has crossed over the Vedas. Remember, Vedanta is the last portion or the second portion in the Vedas. The first portion is the biggest topic, talking about various rituals, talking about various disciplines, talking about various upasanas. Upasana means to keep the mind serene. You take the support of any one of the lords. And there is a systematic way of you getting united with this desirable Lord. That is called upasana, a meditation. Another thing. Proper steps are there to meditate. Even proper places are there. In which thing you have to sit, in which posture you have to sit. All these things you study properly and you do meditation. To achieve the goal, these are all means. Meditation itself is not a goal. Meditation is a means to achieve the goal. People misconclude that doing meditation is the goal. Meditating a Lord for length of time will make everything accomplished. It's a mistake. Meditation on a God is a means to purify one's own mind. Any name and form is limited. Any name and form inside the mind as a Lord can only give limited accomplishments. But with this meditation, one can achieve unlimited accomplishment. One can reach the real human goal, what is called moksha, freedom from all kinds of limitations. For that, need a proper instruction from a traditional teacher for meditation. All these things are being discussed and given all kinds of instructions in the first portion of Vedas. They understood all these things from the traditional teacher. And the second portion is talking about Jiva Ishvara Ekatva Jnanam. Unity between the individual and the totality, the cosmic. There is no difference between the individual soul and the all-pervading Lord. But the individual soul is mistaken oneself. That is being taken care of by the traditional teachings. For example, Upanishad teachings. Those who understand properly by them, what they understood properly. So the first sentence is talking that one who is free from limitations of worldly attachments, one who is free from fear, those who are free from anger, those who are always thinking about the Vedic sentences which are told by their traditional teachers continuously in spite of all their activities in the daytime or nighttime. Those who have accomplished or crossed over all kinds of Vedic meanings, they accomplish what? Nirvikalpaha. Free from all kinds of imaginations, illusions in this world. Nirvikalpaha. They don't see any kind of imaginations, even though all names and forms are there in front of them. Nirvikalpaha. Free from all kinds of vikalpa. Vikalpa means option, difference, many. Nirvikalpaha. They don't see many things in the world. They are free from all kinds of names and forms. Names and forms are only illusions, imaginations. As long as one is ignorant, they will take all the names and forms as real. My wife is real. My children are real. My house is real. My car is real. My prestige is real. My beauty of the body is real. I have some ego. My estate is real. Everything is real for them from the standpoint of ignorant. About what? Ignorance about what? Ignorant about oneself. I don't know myself that I am this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. I am the non-dual consciousness, which is the only reality in this world. All other things are just superimposed on this reality. After length of time studying under the traditional teachers, Guru, they come to know there is no names and forms even though I perceive them. My perception was wrong. Nobody made me to think otherwise. Everybody promoted my misconception regarding the world. Yes, this is there. Yes, this is true. This is true. Stars are true. Everything is true for them. Why? They are also following because they are ignorance. They are ignorance. So they didn't say anything when I was thinking otherwise. They promoted my thoughts. But when you go to a guru, all these erroneous ideas, wrong ideas, misinformations regarding oneself, regarding the world, regarding everything is being eliminated by one single knowledge. That is why we already passed one verse. When we don't know it is a rope, one person consider it is a snake. Another person will consider as a white stick if it is a white drop in the night, in the darkness. Another person may consider it is a stream of water when you keep a small sound of flow of water. That's it. Anybody who don't know about the reality, they think in their own way. So the entire world is an illusion for an ignorant. But once you understand the one absolute reality, all this reality is an illusion or a imagination on the reality. That is what Nirvikalpaha. Free from all kinds of options that all our names and forms are being eliminated. There is only one thing remaining in the world. On that, different names and forms are being imagined. Hi ayam drishtaha. Seen like this, entire universe is being eliminated while living. And prapancha upashamaha, a famous word, few months before we already studied prapancha upashamaha. In the verse number 12 of Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, amatraschadurtaha avyavaharyaha prapancha upashamaha shivo advaito evam omkaraha atma eva samthishadi atmana atmanam ya evam veda. Verse number 12. Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. We have seen few months before. One can go through the classes. There also I have explained what is prapancha upashamaha. Prapancham. The word pancha means 5. Constitution of 5 elements. They are mixed in a proper way. Space, first element. Second, vital air, vayu. Third, fire. 4, water. 5, earth. Akasham, vayu, agnihi, jalam, prithvi. We are all compound of these 5 elements. Entire world, entire names and forms are nothing but the compound mixture of 5 elements. That is called prapancha. The word pra, it's a prefix. Prapancha. The compounding is in a ratio. Mixing up is a ratio. Ratio is important everywhere. If the ratio is not proper, it's called a disease in the body. The ratio only brings happiness, whether it is in cooking or whether it is in your body. That is why the ratio is important everywhere. So much salt, we will not entertain the dish. So much sugar, body will not entertain. Anything more or excess will become poison. So the ratio is important everywhere. Even in the process of superimposition on the reality, we can call creation. Space is the first element which came out of the non-dual Brahman. From the space, Vayu, vital force came. And other, Agni came from the vital force. From the Agni, fire, the water came. From the water, the earth came. When they are in the first primary stage, they are unmanifested. We cannot see them. Avyagritam. That is the proper word used in the Upanishad. They are not visible for the human eyes. The created space is not visible. The created vital force air is not visible. The vital, the fire is not visible. The water is not visible. Earth is not visible. 5 elements are there. In order to create a universe, remember, when I say like a story, you should not take, is it real? In order to account the creation, this is the systematic way to present. From the non-dual Brahman, all these 5 elements are first imposed on the non-dual Brahman. And from these 5 elements, the 5 manifested elements are born or superimposed. Unmanifested elements are not visible. In order to make them visible, they are mixed up in a ratio. There also ratio play a crucial role. Panchikaranam. Each and every element decided to give a piece for the another element, and in return, they will take a piece from them also. This is called Panchikaranam, and they become visible after doing this process. That is why everywhere ratio is important. There is a ratio to run for the car. You should put this much engine oil inside your car. You should put this much air pressure in your tires. This ratio is being directed, shown in the prefix prapancham. Combination of 5 elements in a upper ratio is called prapancham. 72 to 75% of water is there in a human body. We all know that. It's a ratio. You cannot store or acquire more water in the body. It is called swelling. There is an amount of iron, magnesium, zinc, potassium, all these things are earth. It should not become more. Then it will become another issue. Fire is there in a proper amount. If it become more, it is called acidity. More fire inside your stomach. I have acidic problem. After eating all these fried items, chips, etc., etc. Everything should be in a ratio. Prapancham. The combination of 5 elements. I taken granted that they are real. Whatever I perceive in the world, all names and forms which are combination of 5 elements. After knowing the reality, non-dual Brahman is the only thing. All the names and forms are mere illusion. All the names and forms are nothing but mere imagination. Then, Upashamaha. Even I perceive them, they never existed at any point of time. At present also, they are not existing. In the past also, when I am ignorant regarding all these things, still they never existed. In the future also, even I see they never existed. They are not going to exist. This is the vision of the wise, the knower of the truth. And this is called Prapancha Upashamaha. Eliminating the names and forms while by knowing the reality. No other way. No other way. Prapancha Upashamaha Advaya. This is the way, Prapancha Upashamaha Advaya. So, you understood the word Prapancha. The combination of 5 elements in a ratio is an illusion. An illusion regarding the duality. Whatever I see other than me is an illusion. Whatever I see is an illusion. Other than me, nothing exists in the world in the form of consciousness. For the people who are ignorant or ordinary people, for them, this world is real. We are not here to correct anybody in the world except the people who know the reality and who came under the traditional teacher. Please don't correct others regarding the vision of truth. Like one of my student who was studying under me, and he is a taxi driver. He listened that we are taught when we are ignorant. But after knowledge, an enlightened pot always think that I'm not pot, but I am clay who is ever existing. Even the pot get broken, clay being myself, I will never end up with a death. There is no death and birth for an enlightened person, because he came to know that I am not pot, but I am clay. After listening so many times, he got an idea. He bought a small pot and hanged inside his car. Whoever entered inside the car, he used to talk about the pot. We are not pot, we are clay. The person who entered inside the cars thinks that this driver is a bit confused. He's always talking about pot and clay. He says that we are not pot, we are clay. Whether the tourist, whether the pilgrim people, they don't have any idea about pot and clay. So I last told him, please take the pot inside from your car, keep inside your altar, and don't talk about pot and clay apart from the class. Then only the problem solved. This is what happened when you talk about the reality towards ordinary people. It will become a fun for them to make you joke, because ordinary people are behind money. Ordinary people are behind so many worldly enjoyments. Ordinary people are behind some other things. They are not interested what you are studying. It is an expensive thing. Don't present for the ordinary people. Whatever the traditional teacher presented for you, it's a very, very expensive thing, the knowledge. This is not for ordinary people, because they don't have the idea. So that prapancha upashamaha, end of illusion regarding the duality. This is called prapancha upashamaha, end of the universe. And one thing you should know. Bring the rope snake example, stock example. You are seeing a snake right in front of you when you are ignorant about the rope. The idea of the snake existed only inside the mind or in the intellect. You impose this idea on the rope. There is no such snake externally on the rope. We all know that. There is no such snake externally in the rope. Only rope existed at any point of time. But the idea of the snake which is there inside my mind is being transferred on the rope. Similarly, the world is nothing but non-dual Brahman. But perceiving all these things around me through my eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, etc. Empirical world is being grasped by my 5 organs. And I concluded all these things are existing. Exactly like the snake idea inside existing in the mind. There is no such thing there existing externally in the world, but there is an idea which is produced inside the mind, is being transferred on the thing. When you don't have the idea of the rope, the idea regarding the snake which is inside the mind is being transferred towards the rope which is right in front of you. Similarly, what you really seeing, you don't have the idea it is Brahman. So that you transfer the idea that it is a name and form. And the idea which was there inside the mind is a wrong idea. Misconclusion. an error. That error is being transferred towards the external world. Thus, the entire universe will be existing due to the mere illusion, mere misunderstandings of the brain. The entire world is nothing but Brahman. But the idea regarding the Brahman is not there for an ignorant person, Ajnani. But he concludes that external things are existing. The idea which is there inside the brain is transferred towards the external thing. Thus, a person do all empirical activities due to his wrong ideas which are born in his mind. We judge people, we judge things, we judge lot of things in the world. I misconclude myself that this thing exists in the world. Only thing what we are doing after studying the scriptures is we just take away the wrong idea because of the presentation of the right idea. Real knowledge is the medicine for the wrong idea. The entire world, which is filled with names and forms, are born out of wrong ideas inside my mind. That is being taken care of by the presentation of the traditional teacher that entire world is nothing but non-dual Brahman, which might be you, which is free from all kinds of limitations. Desha Kala Vastu Paricheta Shunyam. That is called Anantam. Unlimited means which is free from to be a substance. It is not a substance. When you say a name of a substance, like, this is a car. When you say a car, it is not a bus. It is not a bicycle. It is not a Airbus. It is not anything other than bus. This is called a limitation which will happen when you say the name of a substance. This is been taken care of by Anantam word. There is no limitation of a substance. Kalam. When we say something which was existed before 20 years, for example, a bird called dodo, now it is extinct in Mauritius. One of the beautiful bird in the form of a duck, eaten by the human being, and it got extinct. Everything in the world get extinct because we eat everything. We are supposed to take care of them. Instead of taking care of them, we became the eliminator of everything. This is why human beings use the brain opposite way. Fine. Which was there once upon a time, now it is not there. This is called the limitation by time. Even my body. I will not be there at 2100. I am not there before 1900. There is no such limitation for the Brahman. A limitation which is caused by the time is not there for Brahman. That is why Anantam word is very important. Desham, place. I am here in Kerala. I am not there anywhere in the world. I am not there in Delhi. I'm not there in Himalayas. I'm not there in UK. I'm not there in Montenegro. I'm not there in Japan. I am a limited person regarding the place. This is not there for the non-dual Brahman when we say Anantam. So every name and form has a limitation by a substance, by time, by place. Desha Parichedam, Kala Parichedam, Vastu Parichedam, limitation by time, limitation by substance, limitation by place. This is being negated by understanding ever-existing, non-dual, unlimited Brahman, which is called Advayaha, the last word of the verse. Non-dual Brahman, which is free from all kinds of limitation. That will be the conclusion of the universe, which is filled with names and forms. And it will be eliminated completely from the mind of an intelligent person. An enlightened person will understood properly. I am non-dual Brahman. I don't belong to the category of created. I am above the category of created. Creation belongs to a person who is ignorant. I am a created living being. This thought can only exist as long as we are ignorant. Once you reach to the ultimate level of realizing the reality, the entire vision towards the world, entire vision towards one's own thinking, everything will be settled. The world never existed at any point of time. Prapancha upashamaha. The world is filled with names and forms, which is only an illusion. Non-dual Brahman is the only existence in and through. That is called Advaya. So the entire meaning is this. Those people who are free from all kinds of worldly attachments, those people who are free from all kinds of fear, those people who are free from anger, and those people who are also concentrating on the sentences taught, consulted or instructed by the traditional teachers, those people who understood the clarity and the clear way of what is meant by the first portion of Vedas, what is the second portion, the Jnana Kanda, talking about non-dual Brahman, by them, this world is nothing. Names and forms are mere illusion, so that there is no option for them. The Nirvikalpaha and Prapancha Upashamaha, then they see the non-dual Brahman, which is free from all kinds of limitations like Desham, place, Kalam, time, and Vastu means substance. I am free from all kinds of limitations. I am the non-dual Brahman. I am not an individual which is created. I am below the category of created. I am not created by anybody. I am ever existing Brahman. More we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Sufit Prajabhyat Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhavastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirpayaha Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम पूर्णमतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।